Coach, I apologize if you've said this already, but Glenn McClintock, any update on his status for going out west?
Yeah, I think today he's going to be first day where he's going to try to go non-contact. So, we practice here at one, close to two, and whatever we do where we're not playing live, he's going to get out there, run, jump, shoot. So I think what we'll do is we'll just have to see, day to day from here on out, sort of how he responds to the running, the jumping, the pounding a little bit with no contact, and then see if he progresses to where, maybe this weekend, he's able to start to see if he can play live a little bit.
Obviously a young player for you. How much has his loss affected you guys last few games?
Well, I always try to look at there's no bright side to him getting injured, but, it has put us in a situation where, Joe Octave's gotten some more minutes, which I think's been helpful. Maybe what it's done is, like I said a couple games ago, Joe could be Carter's sub and AJ's sub, get AJ some rest, and now with Glenn coming back, does that add a little something more where, we can get guys, rest. And again, I'd like to be giving them a rest because we're playing well, instead of taking someone out of the game because they're not. But I do think it's just going to be good if he can get back out there live and practice because, again, I think, Joe's been playing better. He's come along and, are we adding to our depth? Obviously we're getting down to the wire here, and when we're talking about adding to depth, and that's what it's been in February. But I think that's a good thing if we can get some practices in and see what that looks like, and then play some games and get a sense of that, as we then head into the off season.
Okay. How's Abe Kinray?
Our trainer hasn't said anything, about his health-wise, so I'm planning on him, being ready to go, and hopefully, again, same thing with him, two straight practices, a day off, 3 straight practices. Does it get him in a better, better routine? We played 4 games in 8 days. That means you're not really practicing that much in that time frame, and I, personally, I think, right for Abe, so many were missed. So many practices were missed. Practices are, an important thing for him. Even at this late juncture, I really think I'm glad we have this amount of time because it can get him rep after rep after rep, and I think that's what he needs, and hopefully that'll be a little thing that can help him, be ready to play well next Wednesday.
And then Wednesday, are you locked in to play in UNLV?
I mean, I to be honest, Brent, I don't really know any of these, how they're going to seed the tournament. Teams have different numbers of games played. All I know right now is they play Wyoming, and it's possible they could end up with 9, and Fresno State already has 9. I don't think it's possible for Wyoming to get to 9. So, but I don't know how tiebreakers are going to be broken. If they both end up with 9, I don't know who wins that between Fresno and in Vegas. And then you can say the same thing if Fresno wins and Vegas and Wyoming both end up with 8. I don't know who wins that tiebreaker because they will not have played the same number of games. So, and I'm still waiting to hear from somebody that does know how that's going to work. So if you can find that out for me, Brent, I mean, I think that would be great.
If I can just follow, so who are you preparing for right now? Like,
what we're doing is we're going to go today and tomorrow and sort of, obviously we know those 3 teams. So anything we're, do conceptually, defensively, it'll have some of those 3 teams things in mind. But these 2 days, we're really going to zero in on ourselves, say offensively. And then hopefully by the time we get to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we'll know exactly who we're playing, and we'll have 3 days to specifically prepare for that team. So that's sort of how we're approaching it, because I don't think we can eliminate any of those 3 teams right now from the process. I mean, I think it's possible we could still play Wyoming. I don't know. I don't really understand how though, but because they'd be 8-8, Vegas would be 8-9. Do they beat them out? I don't know. So we got to get ready for all three, however we do. But most importantly, we got to do it where, Glenn's getting practice, getting back into it. Abe, can we get him really having good practices, and then can we continue to, fine tune some things, that this time of the year that are going to help us no matter who we're playing next Wednesday.
That Wyoming game on Saturday night's pretty late. Is that something you guys can watch together, or will that be something that you watch as a coaching staff, or how is that going to work?
Well, I know we watch. It's been good that a lot of these games are all on TV because of, it's like a makeup week and they didn't have anything scheduled. So I know we'll watch it. Obviously, I think Fresno State plays Utah State tonight. And obviously that result, that'll be a tough one for Fresno, but if they somehow win it, they put themselves out of the conversation. And like to your point, it comes down to those other two teams. So, we'll definitely watch it. I think the good thing is, obviously we played both of them twice. And I watched UNLV last night against San Diego State. So we've seen them a lot. We've seen them numerous times. I don't know what new things you're going to see this time of year. It's really going to be, our own preparation and our sort of readiness and preparedness to play. I think in Vegas and Wyoming's case, they're similar to in some degrees, very, reliant three-point shooting, outside perimeter teams. You can then look at 13 for Vegas, and you can look at Colorado Springs, Maldonado for Wyoming. They're similar. They rely a lot on perimeter. They have those two sort of guys as their, go-to guys, and that both teams have one big guy. So it's a little similar preparation, sort of overarching wise, game plan wise.
And does that help you, that the fact that those two teams are, as you said, a little bit similar, and you're not preparing for two things that could be polar opposites?
Yeah, I think so. And I do think even defensively, at least the games that we played, against both of them were similar games defensively as well. So I think sometimes, Roland, when you get to this, not sometimes, oftentimes when you get to the postseason, you're not really seeing, there's not much new, you know what I mean? It really comes down to, you and your own preparation and preparedness and anything new you may be able to come up with, I think those teams we're going to play, the challenge for us is going to be the same, Fresno State could be a little different with those. They got, that's, the Robinson and the other big kid. But we have to sort of, we did a good job with the three-point shot, defending the three against Colorado State for the most part. We've gotten better at it. We have to keep, no matter who we play, that has to be something that we're good. I know going into next Wednesday that defending the three-point line and limiting transition is going to be really important.
Yeah, when you talk about bringing something new at this point, you guys would. A lot of these teams haven't seen Joe Octave, haven't seen you at full strength with Camden Vanderswag and Carter Murphy. Do you think that is a small advantage you guys have with you on your side?
I think, there's no question that if again, it comes down to playing well, but if we're ready to play, will be guys out there that they didn't see. Are we continuing with that rotation and those guys playing and continued time playing together? We have 5 days of practice here before we go. For us, this is a time of the year where we can continue to improve. And do we find, a thing or two within those rotations of different players, offensively and defensively, that we can sort of add at this juncture? The main thing would be to get like all of those guys, Abe, Carter, Camden, Joe, Nick Jackson. I could say every guy's name, out of the, say 9 to 10 to play well. Can we get all of them in their 16 minutes, 22 minutes, whatever it is, as we have a rotation? Can those guys play well, all at the same time? I think obviously we're capable of that. We're going to have 5 days to practice with Glenn back, and that's going to be the goal. That's the goal, to be ready for all the guys to know I'm playing well next Wednesday, no matter who we play.
With all this time off while the other teams are playing, is there an advantage to be gleaned there because you guys will be a little more fresh?
Well, I mean, there's no question we're going to be the freshest, other than maybe Boise State because they finished the day after us. So that's definitely this time of year. There's an element of that, and there's also the flip side of that. Teams that are playing and playing well per se, and what they get to do, they get to go right back out there and play again. So just don't know how that's going to turn out. Again, even with our own players, going into a tournament first time with these guys, knowing this is the game plan, this is how we're preparing, this is what these 2 days are about, this is what these 3 days are about, and if we go about it the right way, our guys are, to your point, I know our guys will be fresh and ready to go, and we got to know how to turn that into advantage. And again, you do it by collectively having all the guys, playing well, being ready to be physical, being ready to rebound the ball every possession. Have our defense, which has gotten better, have it be better for a longer stretch of time, maybe because we're a little bit fresher. So, I think that remains to be seen, but obviously I like the fact that we get some of this time for these guys to continue to sort of see if we can, gel a little bit. And that's really what it comes down to this time of year. How much can the team be gelling together in March?
Do you have an opinion on the whole, the makeup week, basically? Because obviously some of the teams are maybe playing themselves out of the tournament, and that means a lot of money for the conference. Like, do you agree with the decision to make up all these games?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know, again, I think there's always two sides of the story. Somebody can go ahead and win win those games, and they cement their spot in the tournament. You don't play them, and you go and you just take Boise State. You don't play, and you go and you play your first round and you lose. And you lost those other opportunities whereby if you won 2 games, even no matter who you are, and you get to 20-5, well, you're in, or you're in a better position. So I don't know exactly. I do know, to your point, a lot's going on here where is our league going to get 4? Is our league going to get 3? And there's a lot at stake with that. I think right now, I think this is a 4-bid league. I've been around a long time, and I've watched these teams. I've played against them and watched them play. See how they're coached, see the level of their players. I think all 4 of these teams should be in. When you take Cada, I think they should be in just because of that kid. To me, he's unbelievable. People across the country need to see that kid play. They might be saying they're the one team out right now. I have no idea. So, but I feel strongly this is a 4-team league, and I hope for, I hope that those teams play well. You know what I mean? Because all you want to do this time of year when you're in that position is to go out and play well. And if you play well and the other team plays really well too, and you don't get the result you want, well, okay, that happens sometimes. But, I think it's just important that, if those teams go out and play well over the next, from here on out, I think our league will be a 4-bid league.